Hello, beautiful people. It's me, Sen Nguyen, and welcome back to the Descendants of Hai Ba Trung podcast, brought to you by the United Nations Development Program in Vietnam. Okay, I'm a little hyper right now because I've just got to taste some of the most delicious, juicy dragon fruits I've ever had in my life in Binh Thuan province, also known as Vietnam's capital of dragon fruits. And right now, right here, history is happening. Many women in Binh Thuan are literally breaking down the traditional ways of growing and producing dragon fruits, something incredibly difficult for farmers who've been set in their way to do. But to stay relevant and keep up with the world's increasing demands for decarbonization in farm produce, they gotta try. So, what does that effort actually look like on the ground?
Với diện tích hơn 30.000 hecta, chiếm khoảng 65% diện tích trồng thanh long trên cả nước, sản lượng mỗi năm gần 700.000 tấn.
Let me just paint a picture for you. Binh Thuan accounts for about 65% of the dragon fruit cultivation area of the entire Vietnam, over 30,000 hectares. That's about the size of around 113,000 American football fields. Everywhere you turn, dragon fruit plants are in every corner in this province. If you have never seen them, they look like giant cacti. The stems are chunky and kind of snake through the soil, and there are also these green little spikes popping out of them. The real showstopper is the fruit itself. It's pink. When you open it, you see the inside is dotted with tiny black seeds, like the one you see inside a kiwi. And it tastes as wild as it looks, kind of a mix between a kiwi, a pear, and a melon. But as commonly as you see the dragon fruits, you also see women attending to them everywhere, in the gardens, in the factories, even in the chilly storage rooms set at 1 degree Celsius. I know how cold it was because I followed many of them around. One of them was Tien, the deputy director of the dragon fruit Cooperative, Huong. She took me to her factory and the aroma was amazing.
Ở đây nghe mùi thơm quá chị, đây mùi gì vậy chị? Mùi rượu, rượu đang ủ được ở đây là
That's the smell of dragon fruit wine. It's currently fermenting, and here we're ensuring it goes through the process properly. This area is also where we dry the dragon fruits, and they're dried to perfection.
My alcohol tolerance is super low. I know, embarrassing. I almost got intoxicated just sniffing all the dragon fruit wine. It was only when I got to Binh Thuan when I realized that dragon fruits have so many potentials.
Là có rượu thanh long, rượu vang thanh long, rượu đế, men.
You can make so many things with dragon fruits. Wine, distilled liquor, pulp extracts, bread and cookies, dried snacks. I've also just created a special essential oil, perfect for skincare and treating dry skin.
Women's labor is what makes dragon fruit so delicious. From growing them and caring to weighing the foods, managing the packaging line, and so much more work.
Vietnamese call this spiky part the dragon fruit's ear, but in other countries they call it a leaf. When the fruit is nearly ripe, but still a bit green, that's when we can start massaging the ears into shape to make them firm and beautiful. Buyers like good-looking dragon fruits. Like this one. This one is gorgeous.
So what exactly do farmers have to do to make their dragon fruits, say, more green and climate change friendly? I met Auntie Phương Chi, who is not only a farmer with years of experience under her belt, she also runs a cooperative called Minh 30.
Trồng thanh long sạch.
Dạ.
Thì theo cái xu hướng mới bây giờ là
Low carbon agriculture is something that the world is currently paying a lot of attention to. So we have to follow that trend. When we export our fruits and agriculture products internationally, people are interested to hear about our low-carbon agriculture practices. If we stick to the traditional methods, we won't catch up. To be on the same page, we adapt.
So how do you do that?
For example, in the way I arranged the plants. So instead of planting each individually, standing on their own, I planted them on a trellis, rows and rows like that. So that also means I'm more efficient with fertilizer. I can use an automatic watering system. It saves water. It simplifies the process and reduces the amount of space being used. With the old method, I could only plant 1,000 plants, but with this new one, 1,500 plants. Easy. In the past, we used to use lamps to induce flowering, and during the fruiting season, we started with a 75-watt bulb, then switched to a 65-watt, and eventually a 20-watt bulb. Now there are 7-watt and 5-watt LED lamps in the market that are very efficient, but they are expensive. They can go up to 30 to 40,000 Vietnam dong per lamp, while the old ones are like 1/5 or 1/3 of that. Local farmers were hesitant, but thanks to the UNDP, they subsidized farmers with half the cost, and us farmers just had to cover the other half. So we saved up on cost. We were really excited. These lamps were great, if not better than the old ones, and they save a lot of energy. So now almost every dragon fruit farm here uses these LED bulbs. If there was an inspection, we would just quickly fill in what was missing. Now with the electronic diary, every day we have to report our activities. We have to take photos or cross-reference. Whatever we do, we have to capture it in a photo. We can't go back and edit it.
This shift was a bit bizarre for many farmers, but she talked them into it.
Some farmers worry about using pesticides, this and that. I say it's okay. If you're true to yourself and true to your work, there's no problem. If I produce a product for a certain market, they will buy it. If it doesn't meet their requirements, we go somewhere else. There's China, Dubai, India. We keep moving forward.
Okay, so here's the scoop. Vietnam is absolutely killing it in the dragon fruit game. We are talking major league players here when it comes to growing and shipping these funky fruits across the globe. Vietnam is not just playing, it's leading the pack. We are the top dogs in cultivation and production, and the dragon fruits are making waves from China to Europe and even the US. But it's not all smooth sailing. Ever since the COVID crisis, things have gotten rocky. Plus, China began to step up their own production, and that affected their importing of Vietnamese dragon fruits when China is the biggest importer of Vietnamese dragon fruit. The whole landscape has changed, and with it, some real challenges.
Well, in the past, everyone was working really hard, sending dragon fruits in bulk to China without any specific standard, as the Chinese market didn't require them.
That's Thư Huong, a member of Hoa Lệ Dragon Fruit Cooperative.
We were just doing that for years. When the Chinese market came to a standstill and dragon fruit couldn't pass out the market, that is when everyone started to be like, hold on, what's going on? We start to reconsider their practices and decide to apply certain standards to our production. If we want countries like Japan, South Korea, and India to import our stuff, we have to meet their standard. If we continue with the previous mass production without adhering to any standard, we would certainly risk running it at a big loss.
Innovation, being creative with dragon fruits, low carbon production practices, being efficient with energy, water, and fertilizer. And all of this data is being imported into QR codes for each dragon fruit that these farmers will show the world as they sell them, something they have never done before.
When they fertilize, what fertilizer they use, how to take care of all the crops, all of that go in the electronic log. And when the crops are harvested, they create a QR code containing images and details of all that data. And then the QR code is placed on the dragon fruit. Consumers definitely can scan it to find all the information they need to know, such as the location of the farm, how the fruit was watched, all the meticulous care and all of that. Transparency does allow customers to feel more confident about our products and also help to reduce doubt about how the product is made.
Vietnam is seriously feeling the heat of climate change. We're talking about a whole lineup of extreme weather all year round, from scorching droughts and raging forest fires early in the year to hurricanes, floods, and landslides later on. And yeah, it's costing us big time. Now, zooming in on the south central coastal area, Binh Thuan is right in the eye of the storm. This place isn't just dealing with the weather, it's a key agricultural player, outdoing even neighboring provinces. And now dragon fruit farmers and many others, they are right on the front lines, facing these brutal conditions head on. Tough time for sure, but they're pushing through. Remember what Huong said.
All of us sort of think, that we have to save ourselves.
That's a wrap. Thank you all for tuning in to our podcast today. Don't forget to share and spread the love for dragon fruits. See you in the next episode.